Okay, I want to take a look right now at what I would call a dimensional shift. I believe it happened on July 23rd. I even think I know more specifically when it happened in Central Time of 9:23 p.m. Anyway, some fucking shit happened. What I call a dimensional shift happened. And like the new age people talk about the different portals, the Lionsgate portal or whatever the fuck. This was like that, only an actual thing. So what I want to look at here, what the fuck happened, right? And I've definitely seen it show up in people's lives. But let's just see what the cards have to say. And I'm going to move this light because this glare is definitely going to make me mad. Let's see how that is. And that is better. Okay. All right. So our root card here is a page of swords, and the main card is the Two of Pentacles. Now, instinctively, what I have felt about this is a reverse in polarization. The way that I've seen it show up is couples that come apart, right? And this is like personal relationships. And it doesn't matter if you were dating or fucking married or whatever. Like this, whatever it is, has absolutely raised havoc in relationships. But this reversal in polarization, I think, is what is being shown here in this Two of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Swords down here, I think what this is showing is what it really affects is what we are looking for. It's either what we're looking for or what we're seeing, and the Page of Swords, he's got this robotic eye, and the robotic eye is really good at focusing on one specific thing and then seeing all of it, right? So, I mean, one way to see that is if you're focusing on positive stuff, you would see it everywhere. If you're focusing on negative stuff, you'd see it everywhere. Now, here it is applied specifically to this sort of up and down thing that is shown in the two. I understand it as magnetism. So if you have two magnets of opposite polarization, they're going to attract. But let's say one of them reverses its polarity, then the things that attracted before are now going to repel. And things that would repel before are now going to attract. And I think that is what is being shown in this too. What I'm going to do here is put a card on either side, and then, just as a side note, the Page of Swords would be seeing this fucking shift in polarity. Let's just see what's on either side of this Two of Pentacles. Over here, we have the Ace of Swords, which is basically about taking control of yourself and your situation. The Ace of Swords is the victim of nothing. They claim full responsibility and therefore have full control over what is happening to them. So we have this, and then on the other side, this reverse Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles shows giving of yourself to something that will never change, right? And especially when we look at relationships, this is a thing, right? And you want to change something in the other person, and it'll never happen. And it can't happen. Now, when this thing gets turned upside down, this isn't generosity. It's not like you're giving of your own free will to something that will never change. It's the thing that will never change fucking stealing from you, like forcing energy and time and money from you. Now, these two together, like if you apply the Ace of Swords to this energy, then it would be like, fuck you, I'm not giving you anything anymore. I'm taking all of my energy back. And here, that's what it looks like to me. Now, let's just see what else we got going on here. I guess I'm going to put a card up on the top to see if there is, some sort of higher dimensional thing that comes out of this, like an overarching lesson or something like that. And what we get is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is pretty much about emerging from restriction. Now, with the shit that happened in the relationships and the polarity shift, and any sort of taking back control after it has been fucking vampired on and like you're being energetically stolen from. Now, the seven is basically showing coming out of a restriction that would be tied to that. And the trick is with the seven, when the person comes out of the woods, it's tempting to turn back around and go back into the woods because the woods are familiar and they're heading into a wide open space, and that wide open space can be really scary. So if there's a higher self lesson, it's pretty much to honor all the shit that you went through to get here and fucking don't turn around. So it's like, don't go back to the dynamic in which you are just being stolen from, right? And remembering that this is generosity, misplaced perhaps, but this is like trying to change something in another person and throwing a bunch of energy into it where it's not yours to change and it will never change, right? And when this thing turns upside down, this is not generosity anymore. It's like being fucking stolen from. So here it's just showing not going back to this state where you're being fucking straight up vampired on. Giving, or in this case, being taken from, and getting nothing in return ever, right? So the seven is saying honor all the shit that you went through in the last couple of weeks and fucking don't turn around. Now, let's just see what the Tattoo Tarot has to say about this situation. Oh, we got one that immediately wants to come out. And it's the Six of Coins. So this is coming out reversed right here. It wasn't reversed in the deck, but when it fell out, it sort of turned upside down. Now, the Six of Coins, this would be business partnerships. I mean, there's agreements that are made, messages that are being sent here, and the Six of Coins reversed would show some sort of disruption to that. So it looks like in as far as business situations go too, just like the personal relationship stuff, business arrangements might be affected in the same way. So it would be like waking up one day and realizing that you're giving to a place, to a business, and you ain't getting nothing back. And this is like, fuck this, I'm not going to do this anymore. And the Page of Swords is the ability to see the extent to which you are being fucking stolen from, right? I'm going to ask the same question of the Tattoo Tarot to see if there's a higher self sort of lesson in all of this. Interesting. So the reverse Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is showing some sort of recognition. Actually, we got the Seven of Wands here too. In the Tattoo Tarot, it is a little different, but actually let's look at these together. So I suppose what I could really do is just not pay too much attention to the fact that it was reversed and just say Seven of Wands is the higher lesson that's coming out of it. But this is what I'm feeling here. And this is, of course, emerging from restriction and all that. But you see this fucking symbol in the background of the Seven of Wands. This might be like a fucking signpost, right? So when you come out of the woods, here's the signpost that's saying, oh, you have arrived in the new land. Now, the Seven of Wands here comes out reversed because, at least in my life, I haven't seen a fucking signpost. And maybe there isn't one. So, as we emerge from these restrictions, we kind of expect a certain amount of recognition and maybe some sort of visual cue that would tell us that we are on the right path. I don't think there is necessarily going to be one, other than us just controlling our own lives, right? And not being stolen from energetically or financially or whatever anymore. Now, all right, I'm going to collect these. And what I want to find out, this is more of a physical thing. What the fuck happened? You know, what caused this? And let's just see if we can find out physically what happened, like to the earth or the air, or maybe it was a magnetic pole shift. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? Huh. And we have two more sevens. The Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Now, looking at the Seven of Pentacles, this is the witch practicing witchcraft. This thing is reversed. This is what immediately came to my mind when I saw it. This is like witchy sort of energy coming from a different place, a different maybe dimension, a different vibration. But this looks like it was a spell that was not done in the world that we were living in on the morning of the 23rd of July, that it was coming from somewhere else. And then it like shoots down at us or whatever the fuck. And then we also have a Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is the energy of creation. This looks like from some other dimension, some energy was like, okay, this is what the new world is going to look like. And it sent it down to us. I mean, other than that, physically, so maybe there's something here about the trees, but the number is 7. So I guess I'm going to leave that open to interpretation. Actually, let's pull one from the other deck and just see, because I wouldn't know how to read that other than the number 7 and maybe some shit happening from another dimension. And we get a 9 of coins and an Ace of Cups. Well, the sun is not the card that came out, but there is a sun on this Ace of Cups. I'm not going to say directly that this is straight up the fucking, a solar flare or something, although there has been a lot of solar flare activity lately. But the sun is the card that would have showed up if it was literally coming from the sun. And we get this 9 of coins. And this is, the building of material wealth, but we do have a plant sort of in the middle, like this little rose. I guess I can't get it. There we go. To focus on it. So I guess that kind of lines up with the tree. Who knows? This didn't necessarily help me that much. So considering all of this, I'm still going back to witchery from another dimension. that's what fucking happened. So I guess looking at the situation that you have been in, especially if you have recently just flat out understood that you have been being energetically or otherwise fucking stolen from, try to make sure that you don't turn back around and go right back into the same situation, because that is not the key, right? Moving ahead into this bold new world, uh, it looks like we should take our freedom from those things. So let's say a guy like me, I'm not in a relationship, and my business dealings, will just say, are scant. So does this help someone who has basically not had anything, right? Is this polarity shift, is it helpful for people such as good old Fergus? This happened earlier when I was shuffling the cards too. It was just this cutting that went over and over and over. And the answer would be no. It doesn't help the people who didn't have shit to begin with. The reverse 3 of swords, this is heartbreak and betrayal. It's just really old. I mean, maybe it would help us understand the fucking original betrayal that we've been carrying around with us forever, and that would keep us from maybe taking certain opportunities because we feel like it's just setting us up for failure. So I guess looking at the times that you were originally betrayed, and I suppose just maybe making your peace with that, or trying to learn something from it so it wouldn't hold you back anymore. But I guess. So if you have any fucking stories about what has happened in your life since the evening of July 23rd, and fucking just weird, changes that have happened since then, I would love to hear any of those. And if you have any other specific questions or angles to look at on this, feel free to let me know. That's what we have for now, and peace.